All right. Good evening, everyone. It's great to have you all back in today's class. So please confirm if you can hear me very clearly before we move on today. Okay, once again, please confirm if you can hear me very clearly. All right, that's great to hear that you can hear me very clearly. So it's great to have us back in today's class, ready to move on with our Gen AI class. Okay, so before we move to what we have to do today, can anybody tell me what they learned yesterday? Just tell me something new, right? Or something that you got knowledge on yesterday. So you can just drop it in the chat. Yeah, I'm not sharing my screen yet. So tell me something new that you learned yesterday. Even if it's not new, tell me something maybe that the knowledge got reiterated on. Gemini, okay. Notebook LM, great one. Tokenization, Large language models, great. So I'm still waiting for all of us, most of us, right, to put our responses in the chat. Embedding. Wow, someone already did listen to the attention is all you need paper. That's great. We won't be talking about that today. So just to give those that have not been able to go through it more time, right? To go through the paper and then listen to it in a very interesting way. Thank you, David. That's a very interesting answer. My network is not stable. My network or your network, cool baby. I would like to imagine that we can all hear me very clearly. Stemming, great one. Oluwashade. Yes, thank you. So you might want to check your network. Great one, David. I can also see. All right. So great responses. Great to see that we are all following from yesterday. And then we also still remember what we've learned, right? Yesterday. Okay, so before moving on, I would want more people to join before we go into the first thing that we have to do today. Yes, I love that. Olubola, deep research. We also did some things on deep research. Great one. It's great to see that most of us have listened to the notebook LM audio. Someone even went further to make a video. That's excellent, right? But we won't be discussing about it today. I would like to give more people more time to go through it and then listen to it again. You don't have to worry, right? If you do not know Python, all of that will be taken care of in today's class. Yes, I like that. You created a beautiful pink horse yesterday. Yes, we did that with Gemini. That's great. Wow, well done, Naomi. You made a video with a PDF. Great one. Bidemi, if you want to really know about Notebook LM, you'd have to watch yesterday's video. It has been recorded, so you can easily go there to rewatch what we thoughts about Notebook LM. Felicia, you're unable to convert your PDF on audio to notebook. You might want to even ask GPT to help you with that issue that you're facing. It's one of the applications of Gen AI that we learned yesterday. debugging any issues you're having. So as long as you're able to craft your prompt right in a way that you understand, you can even make use of your general application to solve that issue you might be having. To catch up with the class that you've missed, you'd want to watch yesterday's video. Yeah, great one. You created pictures of footballers using Gemini. I'm curious, did it give you images of white footballers or black footballers? Idogo Sylvester. So let's still wait for more people to join before we move on to what we have to do today. Then we can still keep our responses coming in. Wow, both. Yes, that's great to see. So it's generated both black and white footballers. Great one. Yes, you can join the class if you missed yesterday's class. Yesterday's class was majorly an introduction, and we were just discussing about what we have all done with some GenAI applications, and then we created some worked on some applications ourselves. So you can still join today's class. All right, so now we'll be moving on. We've done the revision of what we did yesterday, and then now we'll be moving on to learning how to use Google Colab today. No, this is not the data analytics class. This is the generative AI class. Yes, I know it will take you time to listen to that. Attention is all you need paper, right? You might even need to listen to it more than once, right? That is why I'm not going to talk about it today. So I'll give you more time. In fact, you can even listen to it every morning to have like a very good understanding of what's going on. If you listen to it like say 2 times, 3 times, or 4 times, I'm sure you would like whenever we want to talk about it. In fact, you'll be so happy to discuss about it. So moving on, today we would be learning how to use Google Colab. For some of us that this is new to, while for some of us, I'm sure we might be masters, right, of using this already. Yeah, so after learning how to use Google Colab, we would also be moving on to creating our API key on Hugging Face. So we'll see how to create our API key on Hugging Face, which would enable us to have access to some of our open source models. And then we'll see how to now make use of these models right in our Colab notebook. So these are our goals for today, and I'm sure that you are as excited as I am to work on that today. All right, so moving on, I would want if you are able to write, because I know some of us said that we are joining from our phone, right? And you can only watch, right? For those joining from their phone, I think you can watch and then also write some points down, right? Such that when we are done with the class, you can then go through what has been done in class. But for those that are able to go along with me in the class, the first thing we'll be doing today is just see how to access Google Colab, and then we'll also go to Hugging Face. You don't have to worry. I'm going to share my screen and then type um everything I'm saying, so you would see the spelling of everything that I'm saying. Great, and then we'll also see how to create our API key on Hugging Face. So moving on, let me share my screen. All right, please, I'm sure you can see my screen, right? Please confirm if you can see my screen. I'm so sorry if you cannot log in via the learning management system. I'm sure this is being attended to. This is not the cybersecurity class. This is the Gen AI class. You might want to reach out to the admins to direct you to the right class. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of not. Okay, yes, you can see my screen. So if you cannot see my screen, please, it might be your network. Yeah, if you can't see my screen, please, you'd want to review your network because we can also see some people that can see my screen. So this is for those that have not used Colab before, right? More of a very brief introduction to what Colab is. So all you just have to do is go to your browser and then type colab.research.google.com. So I'm going to leave this for some time on my screen so you can see that before hitting enter. So colab.research.google.com, colab.research.google.com. So for those that are using their phones, I'm sure you might not be able to follow along. But for those that are not using their phone, please follow along. And then if you're having any issues, let me know in the chat. You can't see what I'm typing, please. Okay, so I just typed colab.research.google.com, colab.research.google.com. So I sent it to the chat for us all. That is where you have to go to colab.research.google.com. I just pasted it in the chat for you. So you can just copy it and then see it. Yes, you can use your phone. All you just have to do is go to your, please scroll up in the chat. You are going to see that I pasted the link colab.research.google.com. All right. So once you've typed that in your Chrome browser, all you just have to do is hit enter. Then once you hit enter, you are going to have an interface like the one coming up on my screen. It's not up yet, it's still loading. So you are going to have this interface, right? You are going to have this interface. So if you've been able to get this interface, let me know in the chat. Collab dot Augustine, all you just have to do is go to collab.research dot google.com. It has also been pasted for you in the chat. So, or you just type collab, right? All right, great one to see that most of us have gotten here. So now you want to create a new notebook, right? You want to create a new notebook. So all you just have to do is click on file and then new notebook and drive. So that is how to create a new notebook in Colab. So you just have to do file, and then new notebook. Then you would have a new notebook in your a new Colab notebook, right, in your drive. File and then new notebook. So you'd have access to this cell rather. So in Colab we have, you can either have a code cell or markdown, right? A code cell is where you can write all your different codes. And then the text is where you would have like, oh, you want to explain, oh, this is my Gen AI class. So this is your Gen AI class, and then you can always move this code cell below, right? So we have two things that you can add. You can add the code cell or the text or the code cell. So for your code cell, you can input any of your code, right, in Python into it, and then run it, right? So let's say I want to do name equal to input what is your name, right? So when I click shift plus enter, right? When I click shift plus enter, right, it's going to tell me that, oh, it is connecting. You see this place that and then once it has connected, then my cell is going to run. So it's still connecting because of my network. So for those of us that might not get what I said initially, I said here you can create two types of cells, either a code cell or the one for text, right? For the code, it makes you easily input your Python code, while for the text cell, it makes you like give description, right? So whatever subsection of your code, you can like put anything you need, right, in your text cell. It's more like a notebook, right? More like a notebook. So what is your name? My name is Adejumobi, and I hit enter, and then you see that my name got printed. Hello, Adejumobi. If you do not want to use shift plus enter to run your code, you can also use this play button beside it here. So it's not really hard, right? You can also use the play button beside it here, and then the code is going to run, and then voila, you have your response. So in case you are also like having issues with maybe any code cell in your notebook, we also have Gemini already embedded in this notebook for us. So you can just highlight your code, or you can click on two ways to do this. You can click on either explain code. So to do that, you can click on this pencil icon here, and then click on it, say explain code, for you to explain what is actually, for you to understand rather what is actually going on in that code cell, right? So you can do that once you don't understand maybe what a code cell is saying and all. So you can just click on explain to understand it better, so you can get up to speed, right, with how the code works. So we've done a very brief introduction to how Colab notebook works, right? We have two code cells that you can add, so which are the code or text. So you can either add code like this or click on text to add it's in to add text right into your notebook. Then the next thing you can also do to run your code cell, I said you can either click on the play button here, right, or do shift plus enter to do that, right? And as we move on in this class, you can learn a lot of things, do lots of things about your Colab notebook. This is just a very brief introduction to what you can do right with your Colab notebook. But there's still a lot of things that I wouldn't want to mention yet in this class. But in your research, right, you can do a research to understand better how some of these other tools, right, these other tabs, right, work in your Colab notebook. So with this brief introduction, I'm sure for those of us that are following in a class, you've been able to, oh, I can say a lot of you do not understand, you are lost. The video on YouTube is blur. Wow, why is the video on YouTube blur? I think the admins should see to that the video on YouTube is blur. The video on YouTube is very clear on my end, as I can see here. Okay, so for those of us that are saying that we are lost, okay, I should zoom into my screen and explain again. Well, no problem. I'm here for that. That is why you have me. So I'm going to zoom into my screen, and I'm sure you can all see this now. I hope it is better, right? So I'm trying to explain to you, for those of us that have not used a Colab notebook before, right, the way to create a new notebook, right? And I said before that the way to create a new notebook, right, just go to your collab.research.google.com, and I'm sure most of us were able to get to that site, and then just click on file. And when you click on file, you click on new notebook in Drive. So click on file and then click on new notebook in Drive. So once you do that, a new notebook is going to open up for you, and then you can easily run whatever Python code you have, right, in this notebook. So now to now do a test run of how you can run your Python code, we are now doing writing a simple Python code to accept inputs from user, and then also print the output, right? So we are giving this input, right, that we want to accept from our user. We are giving it a variable name. We are giving a variable name. So you are saying that, okay, whatever input that this my user wants to take in, I want to think of your variable like maybe a box, right? So I want to keep whatever name that I accept from my user in this box, and I'm naming the box name, right? So whatever input the user puts in, it will be saved in the box, which is what? Name, right? And then yeah, I'm just printing, oh, hello, and then whatever is in this my variable, which you can think of it as like a box also that is saving whatever your user input. So I'm just showing us how to easily run a Python code, right, on Colab, and then also how to input a how to input text, right? So you understand um how to label your sections or anything you want to write, right, to make your notebook more understanding to you, to understand whatever the content of your notebook is. So, and I said to run your code, right, on Colab, right, you'd want to click on this play button here, or also click on Shift plus Enter to run the code cell. I can say, what is your name? Shiloh. I can change the name, right? I see that it changes and say, oh, hello, Shiloh, or Shiloh, rather. So, are we up to speed with what is going on right now? Oh, for Saliu Ganiat said the things I wrote in the box, are they under code or text, right? So once you run the notebook, exactly, thank you for that. It's similar to just your Jupyter notebook, right? Which you can run on your local. But here you just have to run it via the web, right? So you do not need to do anything on your local. That is why you are using Google Colab. Great to see that most of us understand now. So before I move on, for those of us that still do not understand, I'll go over this for the last time. So what I'm saying is that to create a new Google Colab notebook, right, you just have to do google.colab.research.com, like go to that site, go to that website, and then click on File, and then you create a new notebook, right? So once you create a new notebook, wow, this is might be the first time, right? For some of us, we might be pros, right, already with using this notebook, right? But for some of us, this might be the first time that we are using it, right? So I said you'd want to run your Python codes, right? So it's a notebook that enables us to run our Python codes, whatever other data science codes also, or libraries that you want to run in Python, so Python majorly. And then so I'm giving an example of a Python code that accepts a user's input, right, by asking them about their name, and then also prints out the user's imputed name. So once you run this by clicking on the person that asked me, that the box that is below, where did I see it? You have to click on run, that play button, before this box here can appear. If you do not click on this run, the box here will not appear. So your name is Ganiyat, and then you hit enter, and then you can see your hello Ghanaians. So we are saying we are storing this your Ghanaians in like what, a box, which is our variable name, such that whenever the users input oh Ghanaians, it will be stored in that variable name called Ghanaians, called name, right? And then name contains Ghanaians. So Ghanaian, you can think of name like a box that contains Ghanaians. So whenever you now bring the name box, it will bring out your Ghanaians for you. But we call this variable name, not box. But you can think of it like a box. So I hope I've been able to explain how you can run your code on Google Colab, right? And then how you can also always add new cells, code cells or text cells to your Google Colab notebook. So moving on, we'll be seeing how to great one, David Chinedu. Great to see that you've tried it. For those of us that do not still understand, you might want to watch this video again and then take it step by step. If you are seeing notebook loading error, just try to refresh your website. Just refresh that Google Colab, colab.research, colab.research.google.com website, and then everything should work normally. Just refresh it. I'm sure it would work. So moving on now, we'll be going to Hugging Face. We watch the video on YouTube later, or you can just like take it back and then keep rewatching it till you get it. All right. So moving on, because of our time, we'll be seeing how to. So the first thing we've seen in today's class, right, is how to add code cells and also text cells to our Colab notebook, and also how to run a Python code on Colab notebook. We saw how to accept inputs from user and also how to print this out to our user. So now we'll be seeing how to get our API keys. So these API keys is going to give us access, right, to some of the models that we have on Hugging Face. So to do that, I want us all to go to this link. So I won't hit enter yet. So https huggingface.co. So some of us might not have a new we might not have an account yet. So I will employ us to um so I will employ us to yeah, so create a new account. So I employ us to create a new account, right? For this, if you do not have, yeah, my screen is currently zoomed in. So that's for those that want to see this, right? And this is just like giving you a very brief overview of what Python is. You have the responsibility to yourself to learn Python, but you don't really need to like go too deep for it, right? But you owe yourself that responsibility, right? But I'm telling you that the way I'm going to explain everything to you in this class, even if you did not know Python, you should be able to follow along because I'm going to explain every concept to you. All right, so moving on, but to make you have like a more solid understanding, right? You want to just know the basics, just scratching the surface, right, of Python, right? All right, so moving on, just like I said before, you'd want to now get our API keys, right, by visiting this site. If you do not have an account before, I will implore you that you create a new account. So I'm going to copy this link again and paste it in the chat for us to see that. No, you cannot go to Google Colab without the internet. Oluwaseun Adekule, you cannot go to Google Colab without the internet. Energy Shedra, please tell me where you are lost. Have you not been able to create a new Colab notebook? Yes, it's free. Google Colab is free. Just type Colab on your browser, right? And then you are going to get access to that. We are making use of Google Colab because some people are joining from their phone. We are making use of Google Colab because some people are joining from their phones, right? So that is why we are not making use of Jupyter Notebook. But if you are joining with your laptop, of course you can use. If you are joining with your laptop, you can use your Jupyter Notebook. For those joining with their phones, for those joining with their phones, right? For those joining with their phones, for those joining with their phones, you'd have to make use of great one, Abita. That's great to see. Glow looks collection. Please follow the instructions. We said from your Chrome browser, right? Just type Colab, right? It's easy. Well, it's part of the applications in that box too for your mail. So yes, once you see it, just click on it. For those that are using their phones, they would not be able to use your Jupyter notebook, right? So that is why we are using Colab, such that everybody can have access to this. Oh, yes, it's saying syntax error. Yes, so syntax error in Python is telling you that there's something wrong with the structure of how you wrote the code. Python does not accept that syntax, so there's something wrong with the way you wrote it. So you can paste your code that you wrote in the chat, and I'm sure somebody very good in Python can respond to you and help you fix that syntax error. Or you can also just copy it and paste it in Gemini and tell it to tell you, oh, what error did I make here? And then it's going to fix that for you. So night now, how to we've been able to see how to um we've been able to see how to we've been able to see how to use Colab, right, and create a new notebook, right, in Colab. So right now we are moving on to, yes, anybody can, as long as you have a browser, you can just access Colab, right? You can access Colab from your PC too, right? I have a browser. I'm accessing it from the web, right? Emphasis on you do not have to install anything to on your local, right? You can just easily access it from your web browser. Good, great one. So moving on, right, we will now create our API key that would enable us to have access to this Hugging Face models, right? So by going to this link that I've pasted on the chat, right? So go to Hugging Face. So once you get to Hugging Face, right, create a new account if you do not have an account before. So go to Hugging Face, the link that I pasted rather. If you do not have an account before on Hugging Face, create a new account and then tell me if you've been able to create a new account before we move on to the next thing that we are to do. So let me know if you've been able to create a new account on Hugging Face. Oh, you can't see my screen. You do not have to install anything, energy Shadrach, right? To have access to the Google Colab notebook, you just have to go to your collab.research.google.com and then you are going to easily have access to it. Oh, you can't see the link. All right, so I'm going to repaste it again for us to see it. So I'll paste it and paste it and paste it. So all you just have to do is go to Hugging Face. Yay, great one, Grace. Great to see that you've created a new account on Hugging Face. You are not seeing the link to Hugging Face. All right, so I'll paste that again and again. Sometimes though, you just have to scroll up to see what I've been pasted before. So I'll paste it again, right? So I'm sure we can all see the link to Hugging Face. Now you tried out the code but it didn't work out on Colab. Ooh, sorry about that, Taiwo Precious. But that is why we have Gen AI, right? That is one of the applications that we discussed in yesterday's class, right? You can use that to use your Gemini models to also like have a good understanding of whatever mistakes or errors, right, that you are getting in your code, because this class is actually not to teach Python, it is to teach generative AI. All right, great one, Sylvester, to see that you've been able to. Wow, great one. For those still saying that they are lost, you just have to um click on the link, copy the link in your browser that I pasted, right? So just copy the link that I've been pasting. Oh, maybe your network, right? https dot dot slash slash huggingface dot co and then slash, or just type hugging face right on your browser. Just type hugging face, it's going to take you there. All right, so now that most of us have been able to create our Hugging Face account, well, you do not have to get discouraged, right, if you are not really following, right? For some people that this might be very new to, right? You've not done Python before, I know it might be so strange to you. So you want to take it one step at a time, right? If you are not really getting what is going on here, just go back to the beginning of this class and then rewatch, so you can rewatch as much as you want since you're on YouTube, right? So just keep on rewatching, rewatch it and then rewatch it again till you understand. If you're having any issues, you can ask Gemini, just like we did yesterday, for any errors that you are having. But for most of us that have been able to get to this point, right, just click on settings, right? Click on settings, and then when you get to settings, you will see access tokens. So access tokens. Ah, so let me share my other tab instead while I input my password. All right, I've inputted my password. So the steps is click on settings and then access tokens. So once you've done that, you should be able to get to this page, right? You should be able to get to this page. So let me know if you are currently on this page. So let me know if you are currently on this page. Yes, no problem. Emmanuel, if you cannot perform the things I'm saying, you just have to watch along and then you can do that later. How do you create your account? You cannot see the link. I'm not seeing the link. I see no link, ma. Please, for those of us that have been able to get the link, please, can the admins pin the link? Or yes, yes, you have no access tokens. Yes, exactly, exactly. We are going to see how to create a new token. You do not have to worry. Yes, just type hugging face. Thank you very much, Anna Damilola. I also said that. Just type hugging face on your browser and then you would see that. Just click on it. So anyone works, right? So then once you are on this page, right, for those of us that are on this page and we are seeing no access token, right, this is because this is normal for a first time user, and this is because you have not created any token before. So the first thing you have to do is click on create new token, create new token, and then you name it, let's say Gen AI. Create new token, and then I'm naming this my new token Gen AI. So you have to pick from either a fine grained, read, write, right? Because Hugging Face is a place, right, where you can share different models. You can also even put your own model, right, on Hugging Face. I don't want to use any too technical terms. So you can also put your own model, right, that you developed by yourself. You can put it on Hugging Face. you can use other people's models, right, on Hugging Face, right? You can also learn. It's also a community where when you are free, you can go to this docs part and then you see lots of things, right, that you can learn. So because you can upload your models, right, to Hugging Face, and then you can also use other people's models, right, from Hugging Face. That's why you can see that you can choose to either have a read or write option. Write is saying that you want this token to give you the access to be able to put models, right, on Hugging Face. Read is saying, oh, you want this token to give you the access to be able to use models, right, from Hugging Face, right? And then fine grained is saying that you want to like have like specific, you want to be in control of the specific permissions that you want these tokens to be able to do on Hugging Face, right? So let's just pick fine grained, right? So let's pick fine grained, and then let's just take all the read and write, even though we are not writing anything. Yes, so you just have to take these repositories and inference, because this we are going to be making calls to lots of inference providers to get results from our models. So once you've been able to tick all that, let me know. You just have to then scroll to the end and then click on create token. So I'll go over that again. Once you've been able to create a new account on Hugging Face, you just have to go to your settings and then click on access token. Because you are a very new user, right, on Hugging Face, you are not going to see any token, right? So on the right hand side of your screen, you are going to see create new token. Create new token, and then once you click on create new token, you are going to get to this screen that I am currently on. All you have to do is put in your token name, anything you like, and then click on these check boxes. Make sure you are under fine grained, and then scroll to the end and do create token. So let me know if you've been able to do that or you are having issues with doing that. Oh, Abaju, you said you can't see the create access token on your then did you go to settings, Abaju? The way to do it is to, you're unable to click on the create new token. Please refresh your page. You should be able to click create new token, right? So please refresh your page. So let me go back. I will go back here, right? So you are currently here, right? So you are currently here, right? You are currently here. Don't click on models. Oh, if you click on models, you just be seeing the different models that people have created on Hugging Face. If you click on data sets, you'll be able to see different data sets that people have uploaded here. We also have different data sets that you can use for your models, right? So you are not going to models, neither are you going to data set. You are going to the left hand side of your screen, right? And then you are going to click on settings. Click on settings. So after clicking on settings, you have to click on access tokens. But because you are a new user, you are not going to see any tokens like my own here, right? So after getting to this page, you should be able to click on create new token, right? So once you've done that, give your token a name, say Gen AI, then click on all the checkboxes under repositories and inference, right? Then just scroll to the end and then click on create new token. So make sure, please, for those that have created that token, I hope you do not have to create it again. Make sure you copy the token, right? Make sure you copy it somewhere safe, right? Because um make sure you copy the token to somewhere safe, right? Because we are going to see how to link this token, right, to our Colab notebook, right? So make sure you copy that token into somewhere safe that you can easily copy it back when I said that we should copy it for Colab. All right. So have we all been able to create? All right. Great one, Adura Gbemi. I can see that. Oh, you're saying that no, just click on no, you do not have to, just the one under repositories and then inference. Just the one under repositories and then inference. Then click on the check boxes, just these ones, and then scroll down and then click on create token. So that is just all. So if you've been able to do that, let me know. Your Hugging Face account is not creating. Tell me, what issues are you having? Chukwu Favor. Ali Uchenna, you are really lost. Can I start the process again? No, I cannot start the process again. I'm so sorry about that. But if you do not understand, you can just like rewind your YouTube link back and then start again, because we've been going over this for like the past hour. So it won't be really fair to those that have created the tokens to start all over again. You are not seeing settings. Stop pleasing light. Why are you not seeing settings? Are you sure you're on Hugging Face? Are you sure you went to Hugging Face? So listen to what I'm saying. Are you sure you're on huggingface.co? Yes, we are going to get to the explanation of what a token is. And if we were in yesterday's class, actually, we discussed briefly about tokenization, right? Where we said we break like sentences into chunks, right? So we actually discussed about tokens yesterday in yesterday's class. And we said, oh, there are different ways to do tokenization, which can be maybe word level, character level, or subword level, depending on the type of tokenizer that we are using. So all these basic concepts were explained in yesterday's class. All right, great to see that some of us, right, have been able to create ours. Please, for those of us that have not been able to create um for those of us that have not been able to create ours, make sure you are on huggingface.co. Please make sure you are here, huggingface.co. I'm sure you can all see the link on my screen. So make sure you're on huggingface.co, that is website, and you're not somewhere else. Because if you are somewhere else, you are not going to see the settings. Oh. But I'm very sure, I'm 100% sure, right, that if you are on this link, this exact link, you are definitely going to see settings right at the left hand side of your screen, and then you are definitely going to see access tokens, and then you are definitely going to be able to create a new token, right, except you are experiencing network issues, right, which showing 404 John Adekunle, that's because you've not created an account, right? Great one, Olajumoke, you've created an account. If you are just joining the class today, you might have to um just copy it somewhere in your notepad, or maybe your notepad on your phone. We are going to be adding the token to our Google Colab notebook. All right, so seeing that most of us have been able to now to sign up, right? Make sure you are not on the wrong link, please. If you're on the wrong link, that's when you're going to tell me, oh, you can't see settings, oh, you can't see access tokens, or your network is not good. I say, oh, create token is not clicking, right? So it can be either you're on the wrong link or maybe network issues, because huggingface.co at my end, right, is the same huggingface.co when you access it via your Chrome browser. I do not have a special huggingface.co, so it's the same everywhere. So once you now click on create new token, right? You can give your token a new name, say Gen AI, and then all you just have to do is click on the repositories, right, and inference, just those, right, just this, and then scroll down and then click on token, create token. So that should be created. What is this token exactly? Don't worry, we'll get there. We've discussed about tokenization yesterday also. Token is just like the smallest unit, like of your sentence or paragraph, or it can be a subword, it can be a word, it can be a character, uh levels. That's for tokens of words. But for this token here that we are doing on Hugging Face, it's just your API key, right? That you use to access the different models, right, on Hugging Face Hub. So for this one that we just did now, your token here is just the API key, right, that you will use on Google Colab to access. Great one, Divine. Great one. You're at data set. You should not be at data set still square. You should go to settings. You don't have to take it to your email or your drive. Just go to a notepad, right, and then just paste it there. So I will tell us the next step on what to do, right? So you do not have to worry yourself too much, right? So the token here is just your API key, right? What can you name your token? You can name your token anything you like, Susan. You can name your token anything you like. You did not see settings. All right. So if you come back here for the last time, so this is what you are currently seeing, right? This is what you are currently seeing, right? This is what you are currently seeing on your screen. Don't go to models, don't go to data sets. Look at the right hand side of your screen. The right hand side of your screen, you see profile, inbox, settings, billing, get pro. All you have to do is click on settings and then access tokens, right? And then you click on create your new token, right? Create your new token, name it. I'm naming mine Jenny. You can name yours anything you like. Click on just these check boxes under repositories and inference, then scroll down and then click on create token. So I'm going to be creating mine now for you. So click on create token. So you can see you have to copy it immediately, copy it somewhere and then save it, copy it in your notepad, and we'll see when we now move on now how to add it to our Google Colab notebook. So our token here, so you don't get it mixed up, right? Your token here is just a way to authenticate you, right? To have access to models, right? On your Hugging Face Hub. But tokens that we talked about yesterday, right? They are also like a different concept. So sorry about that, Atom. It might be your network. Please make sure you are on the right website, organface.co. And then if you are on the same website, right? If you are on the right website with us, I'm very sure that you'll be able to click on create new token as others in the class have also been able to do. If you cannot do that, it's majorly one, you're on the wrong website. Two, your network is might be bad, right? So please make sure you verify this before um moving on. For those of us that have been able to create a new account, please also help those that are having issues on the if you were not able to see the string on the place to copy your token, recreate another one and make sure you copy it this time around, just like I did. So grateful to see that most of us have been able to create a token. I think about 30% of us have been able to create a new token. For those of us that are still struggling with create a new token, please just scroll back, right, and rewatch everything that we've done. Try to follow step by step. Make sure you're on the right website. Make sure you're on the right website. I'll go again. Make sure you're on the right website, right? And then you'll be able to see the tokens, the settings, access tokens, and be able to create a new token. So now, how do you now add this token to your Google Colab notebook, right? So once you add it to Secret, right, you'll be able to access those tokens, right, from any Colab notebook that you create. So you just go back to your previous Colab notebook and then you click on this key icon that you can see here. You click on this key icon that you can see here, which is called secret. So click on this key icon that you can see here. It's called secret. Key icon, then secret, right? So if you wouldn't be able to see any secret at your end if you've never created a secret before. All right. So for those of us that have created our for those of us that have been able to create our API key, that token. Yes, Susan, check all the boxes under repositories and then inference. For those of us that just newly created an account, please, for those asking about organization, please respond to those that are just newly creating an account and let them know how you were able to create yours, right? But you do not need an organization to create a new account on Hugging Face. For those of us that have been able to do this, please also help people in the chat so that they can also get up to speed with us. All right, so now I want to see that token that I told you to copy somewhere, right, in a notepad. Want to see how to now add it to your Google Colab notebook, right? So want to see how to add it to your Google Colab notebook. So what I said is come back to this notebook and then you see this key icon. You see this key icon here, right? Click on this key icon here, which is secrets. Click on this key icon here, secrets, right? Click on this key icon again, secrets. If you cannot see the key icon, just look at the left hand side of your screen and come to the 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth icon there. So click on that fourth icon, and I'm sure for those of us that have not used Colab before, you are not going to have any secret. So all you just have to do is click on add new secret, right? Click on add new secret, and then name this HF token. Note that once you name a secret, you can't change it again, right? So make sure you are careful with naming it. Else, you have to like create a new one and then add your so paste what you copied from Hugging Face. So you paste it here, Control V, and then easily you've been able to link that token right into your Hugging Face, sorry, into your Colab notebook. So if you've been able to get that step, if you've been able to get that step, please let me know. Wow, great one, Avitab. Great to see that. Taiwo, what's saying invalid? Your token is invalid. What is saying your token is invalid? Nothing can say your token is invalid yet, Taiwo, because we are just adding it into our Google Colab. We've not even made use of it yet. So what is saying the token is invalid? Is your login face? If your token is invalid, then just create a new one, just like we've done before. You don't need to create an organization, right? You don't need it. All right, great one. Oh, I'm so sorry. For those of us that are using your phone, you might just copy the token, right? Copy it in a notepad, right, on your phone. I'm sure most phones have notepad. Copy it somewhere on your notepad, then go back to your Chrome tab, to your Google Colab, click on secret, right, and then add it. So I'm sure the Google Colab interface on laptop, right, is similar to what you have on your phone. Just find it at the left hand side corner of your screen, the fourth icon, click on secret, and then add your token there. Name it HF token, right, and then paste your secret there. So if you've been able to get to that step, please let me know before moving on. Oh, the maps. I'm so sorry that you are lost. You might want to just go back to the beginning, right, of this class so that you have a better understanding of what we are trying to do. And for those of us that have not um for those of us that have not been able to follow along, because this might be our first time, right? I understand, right? So just rewatch. Once you rewatch, I'm very sure you would understand. It might not really be easy, right, at the first instance, right? But as you try to rewatch it again, don't worry, you are going to get it. Yeah, sorry about your network. Great one. Great to see that. After pasting, should I eat? You do not need to really eat enter key. Anyone works. Great one. Token pasted. Wow, nice to see that. You are just looking and listening, you are confused. Wow, so sorry about that. The dollars, right? You can always rewatch and then you get to know, understand better. Oh, sorry about that, Stella. You don't know anything about Python, but you can still try to put your mind in what we are doing and then understand what we are trying to do here. Token created after, yes, it saves automatically, John. Thank you. It saves automatically. Great one. So now that we have all, can you get the curriculum for this class? Oh, I assume that would be pasted soon by the admins. So I assume, right, the curriculum will be pasted soon, right? Yeah, I understand that it's looking like a new field for you, right? It's normal, right? If this is the first time that you are doing this, it's actually normal for you to feel that way, right? So I wouldn't say it's normal for you to feel that way. That's what I would say, right? So make sure you paste your token in your Google Colab notebook. Right. So most of us have been able to do that, and we don't do two things today. So for those of us that have been following along, tell me the two most important things that we've done today. Two most important things that we've done. How do you save? It saves automatically, Segun below. It saves automatically. So just paste the token there. Just paste it there. Fine grain, please, Susan. Fine grain. I explained the difference between the fine grain, read or write. So it should be fine grained. All right. Two things. What are the two most important things that we have done today? Please let me know. Two most important things that you've been able to do or accomplish at your end. So let me know in the chat. Great one, creating a token and then a secret key in Google Colab. Nice one, Chinenye. How to use Google Colab. Here's a quick introduction to how to use Google Colab. Great one. Great one. Google Colab is an IDE, right, that you can use to run your Python codes, right? You can also not just only add code cells to it, you can also add text, right, to make whatever code you are writing, more like a notebook, right, to make it descriptive, right? All right, great one, great one, great one. Great to see that some of us have been able to follow. For those of us that have not been able to get up to this point, you don't have to be discouraged or you do not have to be sad, right? It's normal because this is the very first time that you are doing this, right? So it's actually a lot. It might be a lot for you to get within just an hour, right? So it's normal. You can just calm down and try to rewatch everything that we have done. Try to rewatch it again, and I promise you, you are going to get it right. If you do not understand, then just that is why we are doing generative AI, right? And we discussed about the usage yesterday. We said code generation, we talked about debugging. So you can use it to study, right? Everything that you don't understand, just tell Gemini or tell GPT to help you. Oh, I don't understand this. Please help me through this, that. And then just have to calm down. Rome was not built in a day, you know. So you just have to calm down and learn it one step at a time. All right. So moving on. Great to see that we've been able to add that secret. So right now, okay, so let me confirm if uh where can we find Colab? You can find Colab from your web browser. All you just have to do is go to your Chrome web browser, right, and type Colab, right, and then you are going to find it there. How did we get the token from Hugging Face? Please, can somebody explain to Ayodeji how they got their own token from Hugging Face? Please, let's explain to Ayodeji how you got your token from. Yes, please. You can take 5 minutes to fill your attendance. Please, let's explain to Ayodeji how we got our token from Hugging Face. Please, we are not explaining to him. Oh. I cannot see any explanation here yet. Please, let's explain. Oh, sorry about that, Fabumi. Sorry that you are lost. Don't worry, just rewatch it. I'm sure you are going to get it. Please, can we have someone to explain how? Thank you very much. Please, I'm clapping for you, Grace. Go to Hugging Face, click on settings by the and please, thank you very much, Grace. This shows that we are following. Thank you for that, Grace. How did we create the Hugging Face account? Florence, you just have to go to your Chrome tab and then type Hugging Face. So once you type Hugging Face, it will take you to huggingface.school's website, and then you'll be prompted to create a new account. Okay, so great one. Moving on, I have been made to understand that the notebook for that we are going to be using today has been shared with us. What does OpenAI stand for? You can ask GenAI that also, or just Google it, right? Okay, after pasting the token, you don't have to do anything. Fadeke Felicia, please, before I show the Colab notebook for today's class, let me first confirm. Please confirm in the chat if yes, the token can also be used in your Jupyter notebook. You can just create an environment variable for that, for those of us that have PCs. So um please confirm if you have gotten the Colab notebook for today that we'll be using. I've been made to understand that we have gotten that. Please let me know if you have gotten that, the Colab notebook to be used for today. It is titled Getting Started with Hugging Face API. Yes, all right, great. Please, I want to say a lot of yes. Yes, you can use your phone to create this account. You do not have to worry. You just have to go to Colab, right? You just have to go to your Chrome browser, right? And then type Colab or Hugging Face. You get them easily. And if you are still having issues, right, doing this, just go to Gemini and say, please explain to me how I would create an account on Hugging Face or do this on Colab, right? Learning has been made very easy in today's world. Yes, I'm not sharing my screen, a new screen yet. Please, let's explain to Florence how to create a new Hugging Face account. Please, let's type in the chat how to create a new Hugging Face account for Florence. You don't have to do anything after pasting the link, right? Yes, the class notebook is supposed to open in Colab, right? When you click on the link, you are supposed to have a Colab notebook. Please confirm if you have the Colab notebook. I have the understanding that the Colab notebook has been shared with us. So please confirm if you have the Colab notebook. Okay, got the notebook. Great one. No, Topsy Light, no. Why no? You should have the notebook. Yes, the notebook is open. Great one. So let's move on. Moving on, now that we have the Colab notebook, you are using your phone so you can't follow properly. I'm so sorry about that. You just have to um watch the YouTube recording later, and then you can always understand what is going on here. So moving on, when you click on this in the new Colab notebook, right? In the new Colab notebook, I want us all to click on file, and then click on save a copy in Drive. Click on file and then say save a copy in Drive. We are doing this so that you will have access to edit the notebook, because the link I shared with you, I did not give you access to be able to edit this notebook, right? So that you can edit this notebook and try out new things on your own as you are learning, you have to click on file, save a copy of the notebook in your Drive so that you can have access to like edit the content of this notebook. So once you click on save a copy in Drive, a new tab is going to open, right? If you're on your phone, you have to like see all your open tabs to be able to see the new tab that was created, and then you click on it. Now we can then begin by clicking connect. So two things now for you to do: click on file, then save a copy in Drive, then also click connect. So once you click connect, you started a new session, right? Started a new session. Great one, successfully done. The note is showing codes. Exactly, that is what it is supposed to show. It's supposed to show those codes. What's the use of a Colab notebook? You can help you to run your Python codes there, majorly used by data scientists to run their codes, right? No, the Colab notebook, you should be able to open it on your phone. Go to your phone Chrome browser and then paste the link there. Because I'm also doing the same thing on my phone. I'm sure you can see my phone here. So go to your Chrome browser, right? And then open it there, right? Open it from your Chrome browser. Go to Chrome, make sure you're in Chrome, then paste the link there. So I'll show you mine soon for my phone, for those of us that are using phone. So for those of us that are using phone, right, go to your Chrome browser and then paste it there, right? You can also just go to your Chrome browser, maybe download it, and then go to Colab again. So you can see, okay, I don't know if you can see my screen. So this is my phone, right? And then I can easily access Colab, right, from it. So all you just have to do is you can download that, then upload it on your phone into Colab, right, on your phone. So you should be able to get that. Clicking on the link actually will not work automatically on your phone. I can see that, but just download it, then go to Colab, click on upload it, browse, then click on upload this from your phone, and then pick it, and then you'll be able to have access to it. So for those of us that are using phone, please, you can access it. All of us can access Colab, even from your phone. All right, moving on. Where do you paste your token in Colab, Jumoke? We've passed that part, right? But to come again, I'll come again so that you can know that. Should we download the login? You cannot download login face so and upload to Colab, no, right? Don't open it with text editor. For those of us that are using our phones, right, you don't have to open it with a text editor. The secret key is not visible on phone. So you know what? The secret key is visible on phone, please. I'm seeing everything on my phone as I'm talking to you. So please, why are we not seeing this on our own at our own end? This is my secret key, the fourth icon that I can also see on my phone. So all you just have to do is go to your Chrome. When you get to Colab, click on the three dots icon and then request a desktop site. Make sure you are doing the request desktop site. Then you'll be able to see everything as I'm showing you on my PC. So request a desktop site and then you'll be able to see the secret key also. Click on it and then easily, right, add your secret key. I don't know if you can really see my screen, but add it, add your secret key, and then everything is supposed to work normally, right? So everything I'm doing here, please, you can see it on your phone. I am very sure you can see it on your phone, right? So all you just have to do is make sure, for those that are using phones, please make sure you are using like request a desktop site so you can easily see all those features on your phone. All right, so moving on, right? First, I think somebody asked, how do I add your secret key, right, to Colab? So I'll go over this again. Please make sure you have clicked on File and then save a copy in Drive, right? If you do not do that, any change you make to this source, this original notebook, is not going to get saved though. So you don't lose your own changes, right? Make sure you click on File and then save a copy in the Drive. Then to add your secret key again, click on this key button, right? This key like button. That's if you look at your left hand side, 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth icon, right, from your left hand side. So click on it, right, and then click on add new secret. Add new secret. Then you can name your secret HF token. Please name your secret HF token so that we don't have issues that, oh, when we run the notebook that, oh, my secret was not named HF token and all, and then we have to start again. So name it HF token, and then just all you have to just do is come to the second box and then paste whatever you have, and then that is all. So mine, I already have HF token. That is why you can see that I can't create that, right? So that works and it gets saved automatically. Right. So now that most of us have been able to add our secrets, right, to our Colab notebook, all you just have to do next is click on connect, right? Click on connect. If you've connected, that's fine. Then run the first cell as a quiz. What are the two ways that I told us earlier in this class that we can use to run code cells on? So I'm going to ask two questions. No, the first question is, what are the two ways that I told us that we can use to run a code cell in Colab notebook? So what are the two ways? Play button or shift. Yeah, exactly. Great one. Great. Yes, I'm not moving my screen yet, Jimmy. You can either use that play button to run your code, or do shift plus enter. Anyone works. All right, so let's move back to our Colab notebook. Yes, great one. So let's move back to our Colab notebook. This cell now, we all know that it is a code cell. What of this one that are above that contains text? I already said the answer, right? So let's just run this. So I'm running the first cell. So what this is doing is that it's helping to get whatever so it's the library that you have to import, right, to be able to access whatever token that you've stored, right, in secrets, right. We are doing this so that I know that we could just have pasted our API key here and give it the variable name HF API key, right, and just paste the API, but we don't want it to be visible to others, right. That is why we are first putting it in secret so that we can easily and safely access it, right, by doing this. So you run your second cell. So if you've been able to run the first two cells, so let me know in the chat before we go on to install the Hugging Face Hub SDK. So if you've been able to run the first two cells, let me know in the chat. Please. Yes, no expected outcome yet. No expected outcome. Just run it, right? Just run it. You are using that to have access to the token, right, that you stored in the secrets, that secret that we created. No problem. Yes, Genevieve. What is not displaying at your end, Glory? When you click the link at your end, it just showed notes. Well, if you scroll down a bit, if you scroll, it just showed notes like this, yes. But then if you scroll down a bit, we've already discussed about most of the things here yesterday, so I'll just be scrolling down. So if we scroll down and then run the first cell, run the second cell, right, you'll be able to have access. So we are just doing this first two, running these first two cells to be able to have access, right, to that token that we stored, right, in our secret. And we are doing this such that we don't just want anybody to be able to see um secrets, right, see our Hugging Face token anyhow. Like this, it makes it secured and safe. So we can safely access it in our Colab notebook this way. So the next thing we want to do is people install the Hugging Face hub. So we are installing this so that we'll have access to the models, data sets in that Hugging Face hub. You know, when we came here, you said, so let me share this tab again instead, why that specific cell is running. So when we came here, you know, we're able to see models, data sets, and all. But how do we now have access to these models from this Hugging Face hub, right? How would we now have access to them in our uh, Colab notebook, right? To be able to have access to them, either the models or the data set, that is why we need that Hugging Face hub. That is why we need to install that library in Colab, right? Just do pip install Hugging Face hub. Just run that cell that you have in your Colab notebook. Right, so I'll come back here. So once you've been able to install that, we'll just run this one for helping our display purposes. So now we now want to instantiate a client. Taiwo, your code didn't run. Really? Why won't your code run? We are using the same. Oh, Evan, which one is Colab Notebook? Wow, I'm surprised by that question. Which one is Notebook? That means you did not join the class since yesterday, or maybe you are having network issues. Taiwo Precious, please tell me how you know that your code did not run. Is it because you are not seeing any output? You are currently not expected to see any output except you get to the um pip install part, this pip install Hugging Face up part, and we've explained what Hugging Face up does, the Hugging Face SDK software development kit. So we've explained what it does. Let me even tell you something. Oh, how do you add the uh how do you add the token, right, to your Colab notebook? Oh, Michael, I have the understanding that the admins have shared the link, right, to this Colab notebook. So if you do not have it, you should I would employ the admins to maybe send the token once again. Sorry, the link, right, once again so that you can have it. You have not received it. Wow, so sorry about that. So moving on, The next thing that we have to do is if you are not able to run your code cell, right, make sure you did not make any changes. So I'll reiterate over this again. Make sure you have done file, save a copy in your drive. Then you will be able to make edits, right, to the content of this notebook. Again, to add secrets, right, to your notebook, all you have to do is click on add new secret, then the name of your token, and then add the value in this second place. We are doing this for security purpose such that um you will not the token will not be exposed and everybody will not see your token, right? So for privacy reasons, you can easily just access the value of that token by importing your user data and then getting that specific token that you want from your secret. Let me even give you an hint. If you do click on the new code cell and then you print this name of your token, HF API key, right? If you print it, right, you are going to see that token, right, that you saved in your secret. But I do not want to print mine because I'm not interested in showing you my secret HF token. Okay, so moving on to installing the Hugging Face app. So you have to make sure you install Hugging Face up. I said it makes us have access to models, data sets that we saw on the Hugging Face interface earlier. It will make us have access to it inside your Colab notebook. Right. So now the next one that we now run is that we do not just want to have our token stored in a variable name HF key, right? We don't just want that. We want it to be stored in an environment variable such that our clients can easily access that token, right? And what is this inference client? This inference client, in a very easy way, is like a way to access, right? Your API key is using what? Is authenticating that, okay, yes, this person has an account on Hugging Face, right? This person has an account on Hugging Face and is licensed to use some of the models, right, that we have on Hugging Face. But now, what will now create that connection between your notebook and then Hugging Face's um interface, right? What is going to create that connection for you is this Hugging Face inference client, right? So it will give you that pathway, like more like a unified API, right? Such that you can use it to query different models on that we have on Hugging Face. So just know that your inference client is like just giving you that pathway to connect to Hugging Face. While that token, right, is making you authenticated, showing that yes, this person has an account on Hugging Face and can use so and so models, right? Yes, you are. Can we use another apart from Google Colab, like an offline version? Yes, you can use you can use Jupyter Notebook if you have a PC. If you have a PC, Chukwudi Ezekiel, you can use Jupyter Notebook. But if you do not have a PC, you should use your phone and then you'd want to stick to your um yes, it would also work. Yes, thank you for that, Akinsho. It will definitely work. Yes, run the cell for import packages. You can do that too. So moving on, I already explained what the inference client will help us to do, more like giving us a connection to Hugging Face backend, to all the models that Hugging Face have on their has on their backend. So these inference clients will like give us that connection, right, to Hugging Face's backend. And then this token is like authenticating us that yes, so this person has an account on Hugging Face. So now you can see here, after we've now created that connection, right? This first line here is trying to create that connection, right? The next thing we now have here is the prompts, right? Prompts, just like you ask, you go to Gemini interface and say, help me to do this email draft, help me to do this and that, help me to do help me to summarize this, maybe a particular article and all, or help me to do this, right? The same thing, you can now do it here from your notebook, right? All you just have to do is make sure you put the prompt in a string, right? Anything that is enclosed in a string in Python, any words that is enclosed in a string, right? Anything enclosed in a string, in quotes rather, in Python is known as a string, right? So we have this here. I want to ask a question of, prompt is more like a question, right? Write a short story about vegetables, and then to now be able to, on your user interface on Gemini yesterday, all we just have to do is copy this, write a short story about vegetables, right? You just send it, pam, and then we are going to have response, right, from the model. But in this way, there are specific ways that our client expects our prompt to be, like specific format that it expects us to format our question as, right? So to be able to get response from a model, we have to make sure that we obey and put our question in that format. If you do not put your question in that format, it will not give you a response. So you have to make sure that you cannot just say write a short story about vegetables and say clients, put it there. It will not give you a response, right? So you have to make sure that you follow that format, right? And that first format here is what you can see in these messages here. So you have to first tell your client what is your role, right? As we move on in this notebook, we'll be seeing the different roles that we can have. But just know that in this first part, the role that you are having is what? User. Of course, I am a user. Am I not a user? I'm a user. And I have a question, right? Which is write a short story about vegetables, right? And my question is saved in this what? Prompt. And earlier, what did I call prompt for us earlier? So let me know if you are following. This prompt in Python, it is a what? Prompt in Python is a what? Okay, I'm seeing somebody saying input. Okay, can another person try? What is that prompt? What is it standing as here? Variable. Great one, Chukwudi. Variable. Yes, I know that the prompt is a question, right? But we are saving it right now in a variable called prompt, right? Yes, the prompt is a question, yes. But now we are saving it in a variable called prompt. Great one. So prompt is a question, yes, but this prompt here is also a variable name, prompt, that stores that question, right? I told you to think of variable as a box, right? Write a short story about vegetables, right? Is inside that prompt box. So whenever we say prompt, it will show us what is inside it. Write a short story about vegetables. So now the format that our client expects us before it can be able to relay our message, right, to any model that we pick on Hugging Face's backend. It expects us to have formatted our message like having a role and then the content. So my role here, I am a user, and then the content is my question, so which is stored in the variable name prompt. So which is why you can see that I am using prompts here, not write a short story about vegetable, because prompt already contains write a short story about vegetables. All right, so the next thing we now need to do is now craft, put our messages, models, and put it in an endpoint, right, for that our client, such that we can now get a response, right? A response. Somebody will say, how were you able to know that this is the model to use? We can come to Hugging Face and then pick any model that we like. Note, not all models on Hugging Face are supported by this inference client here. So you have to check and be sure that, oh, a model is supported by this inference client here. So if we come back to this Hugging Face hub and I share this tab instead, when you click on models, you'll be able to see the different models that you can have access to. And then on my left hand side, you'll see the different tags. You can pick a model for text generation, pick a model for image, text to text, pick a model for image to text to image, text to speech, anyone. Since since we are focusing on text generation, we'll click on text generation, and then we'll be able to see models for text generation. You can also say, I want models that inference, that are available for the inference client. So you just click on this inference available, and then you can see models that are available for that. So if I click on this Meta Llama model, I will just click on copy here. So this might be a bit fast because of our time, but you can always reward this ending part to get to know how to get your model name. I will also teach us, our tutor for tomorrow rather will also teach us, will continue this notebook with us and show us a more programmatic way, right, of getting these model names. So once you click on copy, you've copied the model ID. The model ID is the unique ID to tell Hugging Face that this is the model I am interested in using from your hub. This is the model I want you to help me use to answer my question, which is in my prompt.